So, hi everybody, welcome. Thank you for coming to hear me talk about water efficiency as part of a wider environmental objectives for businesses. A little bit about me. I've been with Water Plus since it launched, which was 1st of June last year. And prior to that, I was a project manager with United Utilities, so I've come up through water. I've also been project management with design and construction, so very project-y based. I've set up the business for Water Plus, the advanced services team, and we basically provide customers with solutions for their own private assets on site. So anything beyond the meter where the wholesaler is no longer responsible for, we'll come in and help customers. So running order today, a little bit about Water Plus, for those of you who we're new to you, a bit about my team, what we do, and then how to measure, monitor and manage your water consumption against your strategy, your targets, and a case study for you. So hopefully you're all aware that the water market for commercial customers is now open as of 1st of April. This means that business customers are able to choose their water retailer. So the wholesalers haven't changed, they're still managing the main networks, but you're able to choose a retailer based on price, so if they're giving you a really good deal, or other services. So the Water Plus has been set up as a 50-50 owned joint venture between United Utilities and Severn Trent, who are the Midlands-based and the Northwest-based water wholesalers. The view and the reason for coming together was recognising that margins and the kind of ability to make money out of water as a retailer is quite low. So it was all about trying to bring that balance sheet down, bring the cost to serve down, economies of scale basically. So Water Plus was formed on the 1st of June last year. And we inherited our 360,000 business customers from the two wholesalers. And we are now in an open market and we are trading. So we're out there, we've got some business development managers here today out on the stands. They're trying to win our business customers. And obviously we're losing some as well, we're switching out. So far we're about breaking even, and bearing in mind we're by far the largest water retailer, that's in line with where we want to be. So far to date, and that's just since 1st of June, but we were saving money for customers before that. We've saved circa 2.2 million. That's nearer 3 as of end of October. And I will obviously talk to you about how we're doing that. My team are there to help customers reduce costs, reduce consumption, and manage incidents. So we're very much the safe pair of hands for our customers on their private site. We try and set them up so that they won't be off supply, so that if the worst happens, we can go out and help them resolve issues and keep water going into the business. So we sit down and set strategy with our customers based on their financial and environmental objectives, and we're all techies basically. So we are all ex-water, coming up through the networks. A lot of the guys have actually worked on the networks on leakage or smart metering and so on. So we've got a lot of knowledge in the house, and that's come over with United Utilities for the past 5 years. Everybody goes through their APM queue. I think it's changed the title recently, and IOSH. And we have our ISO 9001, 14001 and OSAS 18001. So that's the quality, environmental and health and safety accreditations. So we're externally recognised for those. So every customer that we come across, their needs are entirely unique. Even looking at one food and drink manufacturer making pop to another one making pop, they've got different objectives, different CSR responsibilities. And so we have to start from day one by sitting down and helping to develop a strategy. But there are some key themes. So I've used the food and drink because we have many large industrials in area, and they are entirely reliant on water, and not just for domestic use as, say, a supermarket would be, but also for process. So the impact of them losing supply because there's a big wholesaler event or if something goes wrong on site for them, It could mean that they miss an order to one of their customers, say the likes of a large supermarket, and it could cost them up to a quarter's worth of revenue. So it's well worth them having in place a really robust contingency plan, and they know who can pick up the phone to us or another provider in the event of an emergency. That's their key objective, but they are also looking at their effluent, looking at their waste, trying to control and improve the quality of that and reduce their bills. The multi-sites, and it's quite high profile that we've won the likes of Sainsbury's and other large supermarkets. They're more about looking at a large asset base with, say, thousands of local-sized stores and trying to pick off where the smaller issues are and resolve those, or trying to roll out a programme for water efficiency across a larger asset base. So in developing a water management strategy, we literally go in with an open book. The customer may already have in their head a figure, a percentage reduction, for example, or some objectives from a financial point of view. A lot of the public sector customers are saying, we need to save X, how can you support us to do that through water? So we'll sit down, look at those objectives, and we'll write a kind of baseline for them. So we'll use whatever we can get our hands on in terms of data. Most customers at the moment are saying use last year's performance, use that as our baseline, and then anything that we can count as a reduction from that is where we'll use as our starting point. Once you've got some high-level objectives written down, we can start to pick off the kind of tailored recommendations and objectives, and then we'll go through to planning, initiating, managing projects for water efficiency, which is our bread and butter. We're continually measuring the reductions and continually monitoring back to that baseline and the customer's objectives. And it doesn't stop by doing things once. So we found that some customers we'll talk to will say, we're really water efficient because we rolled out tap inserts 10 years ago. Well, actually, technology's moved on. There are different types of taps available now. Those tap inserts might not be working anymore. You might have leaking taps and so on. So there's a whole raft of issues. So we do say, don't just do it once. Do it annually. Do it every couple of years. So how we measure consumption. Ideally, a customer, say, with a school, will have a smart meter on. And so they're able to share that data with us, and we can see the consumption. We can see exactly when water's being used. Even better if they've got a sub-metered and smart metered site, so we can see what area of the school is using what water at what time. But that isn't normally the case. So data is kind of notoriously bad in the water industry. It's starting to improve as we're switching customers in. We go through a big data cleanse piece, and we went through a big data cleanse piece before we set up Water Plus. But it will take what we can get basically as a starting point. So we like to look at the past 2 years' bills to make sure people are on the right tariffs and so on first, and then start to do some benchmarking to say, why is this shop using twice as much as another shop down the road, same number of employees, same opening hours and so on. So we start to collate that data with our customers so that we can give them a benchmark. Red, amber, green, very simple. So we'll say these are your worst 10%, these are your next 20% in amber, the rest we don't need to target at the moment. Then we go on to fix the obvious. The obvious is normally below ground leaks. You can't see them. The bills may have crept up over years, months, and people don't have a lot of time to spend analysing bills, so they just come in and they pay them. So fixing the obvious, getting that benchmark in place, getting that baseline in place, and then considering the next step. So, okay, what else do we want to do that's a bit more clever than just fixing below ground leaks? And then we'll provide the tailored recommendations for our customers. The monitor and manage, one doesn't really come before the other. It's just ongoing. So monitoring is going back to the point that don't do it once and forget about it. Do it cyclically so that you're able to spot new issues that are cropping up. And you'll be able to continue to capture, especially if that's your job, to find the savings, you'll be able to continue to capture those and make you look good. Management. So on to a little bit about the type of work we do as a team. Fixing the obvious, as I said, we'll then do water efficiency audits and the ongoing work, the interventions there to upgrade assets, upgrade fixtures and fittings and so on. We really encourage our customers to proactively protect their network. So if we've gone out to the same problem 3 times in a year, where we will tell our customers, you need to do something a bit bigger about this. It's keep fixing it, the cost will outweigh the benefit. And always having the contingency plan in place to make sure that they're never off water. So this is the innovation bit, the tools that we have developed at Water Plus to help our customers help themselves, really. The first one is our water efficiency app. So lots of people are put off having water efficiency audits done because there's a cost to it. They're sending a technician out. They might be on site for a day. It can get expensive quite quickly if you've got 200 sites to look at. Or people are offered a gain share, and some people are wary of gain shares and so on. So we developed the app so that people can audit their own sites. And it's very easy to use. You simple download. You put in the location details, and basically you go around your office block, say this centre, you'd go into every toilet, every kitchen area, every washroom, every point where the water's being used for domestic use, and you would, basically it's an inventory tool, so you're taking an inventory of exactly what's there, you're testing it, you go around with a little litre flow mug, so that you're saying it takes 10 seconds to fill it there, but 20 over there, we'd want to address that tap. And the app then pings through to our techies who have a look. You can save photographs to it as well, so if you're not sure what it is, you're taking a photograph, pings through to our techies, who then go through and identify opportunities for you to fix, replace, enhance, put water-efficient fixtures and fittings in. And we send out a report, a site-by-site report, which gives you all of the detail that you've put into the app, and then a little summary of recommendations, so the products we're recommending, the cost and the return on investment. And it gives you the energy saving as well as the water saving, so you can tie it into energy. We're just about to launch a dashboard as well, so say for a council with 300 properties on its books, you'd then be able to see a nice little dashboard, a little table that tells you you've got 10 properties in the red, and you can drill down into that and see what they are, give the app out to your FM, your site managers, caretakers, whatever. Let them use it. You'll then be able to see who's used it, what's been recommended, whether they've carried out the interventions, and that water reduction coming down. So it's a kind of tool to let people audit themselves and try and get through that barrier of the thought that audits are expensive. That said, we do still offer the technical audits. And if it's non-domestic water use, you absolutely need a water expert out there looking at it for you, because they're plumbers, really good plumbers, and they know exactly what they're looking for, identify issues for you. Smart metering. It's getting cheaper, so it's still a bit too expensive for everybody to have it, unfortunately. But any site consuming over about £3,000 worth of water a year, or any site where if an alarm were to go off in the middle of the night and that triggered something for you to send somebody out to fix a leak so that you could open for business in the morning, it's invaluable for those. So smart metering is similar to energy. You're able to actually see exactly what you're using when you're using it. And what we would be looking for when we look through all of our customers' smart meter data is night lines. So if this conference centre is closed from 7 o'clock in the evening, doesn't reopen till 7 in the morning, then why is there a continual amount of water going through the system? And that would be something that we'd highlight and target straight away. Leak detection and repair, there are some innovative ways out there of doing that. There's a leak finder. I won't go into the detail of that too much. But Water Plus Protect. So this is the nice little map on the right. And customers are telling us it's hard to get ready, it's hard to know when to put their contingency plan into action because they don't have early warning of things, so they'll just turn up to work and they won't be able to get into their store for whatever reason. So we've developed what is a simple service, but we take data from the Met Office, SEPA, which is the EA in Scotland and the EA for England, and we'll proactively alert you. We take your site list, we dump it into the map, and proactively alert you as and when there's a flood alert or a severe weather alert. And the next phase for that is to get the wholesaler alerts on. So if a wholesaler makes us aware that there's a big incident in Birmingham, we'd be able to ping you through the Protect service and let you know. And that means that people might know they can't get into their office or building that day. They might be expecting deliveries that they'll realise won't get through, and they're able to kind of engage with the right people and get their contingency plans in place. And then water and wastewater infrastructure upgrades, that's just going back to saying do it proactively, it will cost you less in the long run. So a bit of a case study was a big property management company that we worked with in Manchester. They were responsible for about 130 offices and retail units, and they were paying the bills on behalf of their customers, so it was their objective to reduce those costs because they weren't able to pass them on. So we rolled out smart metering for them on 100 of the sites, and straight away we could see some issues, night lines, as I mentioned before, things going at night, and we could see that one retail unit was using 4 times as much as another retail unit when it shouldn't have been. So we were able to target those stores, those units, provide leak detection and repair for them, and you literally see the graph go straight back down to where it should be. Then we benchmarked all of the sites for them and made a load of recommendations around water efficiency and sustainability. So we targeted just their top 10%, but we actually saved them over 10% on their across the whole estate. There were a couple of large leaks in there that had been running for we've no idea how long, but certainly their bills came straight down on those. So that's it all working in practice. So the summary is, if you're thinking of going out to retail market for tender, have a look at your own data first, see if you can get it kind of ship-shape, because that will really help retailers price it. Also decide what's right for you. What additional services do you want your retailer to provide for you? Water Plus have got quite a comprehensive offering. Others don't do anything at all, so that might knock certain retailers in or out. Try and agree beforehand or with your retailer what you want that strategy and your objectives to be. Then continually review that consumption and challenge them on it. You know, give them a hard time. You know, if you're spending money rolling out products, then you want to see some return. You want to see some benefit for that. And that's about looking into the water management tools and services to assist you to do that.